Hello, and welcome to Menopause Sucks, but hey, it doesn't have to. I'm your host, Juliana Garcia, and I'm a seasoned nutrition and fitness coach of 20 years. I'm a pro IFBB bikini bodybuilder since 2015. So I've been in this industry for a long time. And in the last couple of years, I've started going through my own journey of perimenopause. So I'm here. I've created this new podcast to go along with my program, Menopause Sucks, but it doesn't have to, so that I can help women like you that are going through this time in your life and you're not sure what to do. Because I didn't know what to do. I was so confused and lost. I didn't know what was going on with my body. I felt like I wasn't in control. Things were changing. I didn't enjoy going to the gym anymore. It was crazy. Pardon me while I adjust my camera here. Yes, this is happening as I'm recording. So, okay, I didn't know what to do. So I went on this deep dive of going into my symptoms. I started Googling things because normally what I understood with menopause is there's going to be hot flashes and there's going to be some extreme weight gain. Those were the two biggest things that I've heard my clients complain about while they were going through this time in their life. And I never once heard the word perimenopause when I was talking to my clients. So as I started learning all the symptoms and how they're affected, what affects them, when I started realizing that my hormones were the biggest factor in all of this, I got excited because I want to learn more about my body. So I got to go on a deep dive and understand how our sex hormones regulate so many different things in our body, how important estrogen is, testosterone, and progesterone. And let's not forget the other hormones like insulin, cortisol, and thyroid. Then we have our hunger hormones, leptin, ghrelin. So we've got all of these great tools that once we understand them and we can optimize them, and then we can live optimally. So the root cause of what I was feeling, my symptoms. So let's talk about my symptoms. And if you've been following me, you've heard my story that I became very anxious and very irritable. Things that never bothered me before started bothering me. I didn't want to go to the gym anymore. I absolutely did not want to go. It was like pulling a screaming child to go somewhere. That's how I felt internally. I didn't want to go. Luckily, I have an amazing partner, my boyfriend. He's been so supportive and understanding through all of this. I love him so much. And thankfully, he was there every day to come to my door at the office and say, hey, you ready to go to the gym? And had he not been there, I honestly might have missed a lot more gym days. But because I had that partner who was ready to go to the gym, it allowed me to get up and go. And once I was finished, once I was done doing my strength training, and that is definitely a topic that I'm going to dive deep into, strength training, resistance training, because ladies, we're going to need it. We're going to need it for the rest of our lives. Okay. So having him there to get me to the gym was so helpful. So that's going to be another thing we talk about, the support surrounding you. Your partner should be part of this process. They should know and hear and understand what you are going through, and you shouldn't have to go through this alone. I, in the beginning, probably the first 6 to 7 months, was in complete denial. I didn't want to admit that I was going through menopause, let alone, admit that I'm reaching 50 here in a couple of years. It's a thing that women go through, and I'm going to admit that. It wasn't a fun mental state to be in. I also had this sense of doom looming over me from time to time. It would come and go, like the worst thing possible could happen. And I didn't understand that feeling. And it's a feeling that still comes and goes, and not as often as before. There was a time where I was feeling it for days on end. And I would just sit there and try to just think of other things. I just didn't understand what that feeling was and how to make it go away. I even described a time where I felt like I was being held down and not being able to get up. I mean, these are the sensations that I'm feeling and the symptoms that I was feeling. And ladies, there's over 100 symptoms out there. So if this resonates with you, put this in the chat, message me. I want to hear what you're going through, because this is real. And we don't talk about it enough. I know I'm shouting it from all over my social media now, and I'm okay with that because I am reaching women who felt lost and weren't sure what to do. And that's my goal here. So share this podcast or this video, however you're consuming this right now, and share this with a woman you love who you know might be going through this, and this may help. Because today I want to talk more about how do you talk to your doctor when you go see your doctor? And this is different. This is interesting because it's a really big hot topic, considering that our doctors were only lectured for 6 hours in medical school when it comes to the menopausal woman. And this is a data point that I keep hearing from other doctors who are doctors, and one that I love and follow, Dr. Excuse me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, who started the Galveston diet. I love her. She will be the first to tell you that our doctors are not prepared to guide us through this unless they specialize in this, unless they went and got additional schooling, which is what she did. And she's a menopause expert. Now, I am not a doctor, but I do know that what you do with your nutrition and your fitness, your movement, your mindset, your lifestyle, that plays a major role on how we're going to be feeling and how we can alleviate these symptoms without anything else. Holistically, if you want to go the holistic route, which we'll talk about that, um, I got off track. What I want to talk about is your doctor. Okay, let's go back to talking to your doctor, because you are going to go to your doctor's office. And the first thing you want to do is come prepared with the symptoms that you're feeling. Write them all down, have them on a piece of paper, put them in your phone in notes, but have them ready to go over and let them know what you are feeling. Hot flashes, irritability, night sweats, lack of motivation, low energy, low libido, your hair's falling out, your skin is getting itchy, your ears are itchy, you have tummy indigestion problems, you're putting on weight. That's one of the bigger ones. Putting on weight. And normally it's because this has been going on for quite some time. So just to remind you, perimenopause can start as early as the age of 35 years old, okay? And it's around the time, it can last anywhere from a few months up to 10 years until you reach menopause, which menopause is a point in time when you do not have a period for 12 months, you're in menopause, now you're in postmenopause. And ladies, we are going to be spending 40% of our lives in menopause. So why not live your best life while going through this stage? It doesn't have to be in decline. You don't have to do it and suffer in silence, okay? Because we have options. So when you go to your doctor, let them know your symptoms and ask them what they recommend for next steps. And if you have a good doctor, or if you have a doctor that's in the know when it comes to menopause, they will recommend estrogen therapy. You don't have to have blood work to determine if you're perimenopausal. And you don't have to have blood work to determine if you're postmenopausal if you haven't had a period. Now, ladies, there are ladies who get their uterus removed. Okay, that happens, and then usually they should be put on estrogen therapy. And if they haven't, I feel bad for them. So estrogen is that hormone that is going to do so much. It offers so much, and when it's low, these symptoms, they rise up. And you only need progesterone, ladies, if you have a uterus. I take estrogen and progesterone together. I do an estrogen cream on my arms every day. And I didn't get estrogen until a year after I started with my hormone therapy. In fact, my first practitioner gave me testosterone cream and progesterone cream, not estrogen. My estrogen levels numbers, they said, were good. That's what they said. And this was over a year and a half ago. Now, it wasn't until 2 months ago that I had my blood work redone and my estrogen, it tanked. It's almost to nothing. So now I am on estrogen cream. I take a progesterone pill and I do testosterone injections. How did I get myself to this place? Well, I went online. I did telehealth medicine. So I didn't even talk to my doctor. I didn't have a regular OB-GYN that I have here in California. So I did telehealth. They gave me a survey for my symptoms, and then they started me on testosterone and progesterone cream. Okay. Now, no one can decide if HRT is right for you except for you and your doctor. Okay. But the more science-based information that you have and the more informed you are, okay, the better you'll be able to make a decision. This is really important. Only you and your provider or your physician can make that decision. There's a lot of misinformation out there about HRT. And ladies, from the research that I've been doing and the books that I've been reading, Estrogen Matters is a great book. There's so much information and so much research that's gone out there that states that hormone therapy, the benefits outweigh the risk, unless you have contraindications. And that's that's for your doctor and you to decide on if HRT is right for you, because it might not be right for you. Okay. It's been right for me. It's helped me. My mood is up. I'm enjoying going to the gym again. I'm feeling great mentally. My anxiety has dissipated. This is what has worked for me. So I'm sharing my story for you because it might be for you too, or you might not go that route. There's other things that you can do if you're not on hormone replacement therapy. And that's what this podcast is for. I'm going to dive into nutrition and the importance of nutrition, how to eat, food timing. We're going to talk about gut, digestion. So I want to cover all these topics, mindset, so that we can prepare and empower you to live your best life. Okay. So when you go to your doctor, this is what you should know. Generally, you should start treatment during perimenopause or in the first few years after menopause. So for me, starting around the age of 47, I'm likely going to be menopausal in my 50s. So I started at a good time, and this is just going to benefit me for the long term. And I'm not going to come off unless my blood work shows that I need to. Once I'm menopausal, fully postmenopausal, I may come off my progesterone and stick with my estrogen and small dose of testosterone. That's going to be up to me to decide and with my healthcare provider. So it could change throughout your life. You're not just going to be set on one set of particular hormone protocol. It could change as you age and then at what stage you are during menopause. Okay. Another thing is that we want to realize that it's mainly the deficiency of estrogen in your system that causes some of the weight gain and the symptoms. Okay, that is very important. So, knowing what we know now, the reason why we want to get on HRT is because our estrogen is low. And if it's low, then we're going to have all these symptoms. So, you can make that decision if that's something that you want to do. So, when you go to your doctor, tell them your symptoms. Let them know where you stand and how you feel. And if HRT is right for you, you can take the next steps on getting onto the right dosages with your doctor. Okay, this information is to share with you and empower you so that you can go and make an informed decision on your own care. Now, ladies, remember, if you know somebody that this might benefit them, share this link with a family member. You can also visit me at menopausesucks.co. I'm also on Instagram at juliana.nutrition.coach. I appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video.